People want to look at you and say, this person's a corporate attorney. They always wanted to be a corporate attorney. And so when you start talking about all this other stuff you were doing, can detract from that. And it's not, that's a bad thing, but it is if you want to get a job. Everything needs to look corporate related if that's what you want to do. If you want to be litigation, then everything needs to look the opposite. But that's how I would handle that. And I would really talk mainly about my corporate related experience. Okay, Anderson Private Client Services, corporation, partnership. Okay, so this particular person, you are definitely marketable because Trust in Estates is very active right now. I would, anytime you start talking about experiences, and again, you want to put people, I don't say you need to say ultra high net, you can just say high net in those trust states, corporations. And then, so being a volunteer in these clinics, I don't know how much that's going to help you. You may want to put that in there and that's perfectly fine. But right here, just with this stuff alone, being a tax associate at wherever you are at San Francisco, I would just say tax associate so you're actually doing just tax for tax returns. Yeah, I would just put anything, again, that detracts from putting people on the scent of the type of work you do should come out. So everyone, even though you may be very proud of your immigration experience or your integration, this other experience, I really recommend minimizing it and making people see you as someone who's all legal doing one type of thing. Yes, this person went to Hastings. And this conversion, by the way, I apologize. This is all not in the people's resume. This is ours. Okay, La Raza co-chair, volunteer income tax, no. Student leader of the year nominee, no. A nominee doesn't mean provost award. Great. Hispanic scholarship fund, great. Music, jazz, and the African diaspora. Well, that's very interesting. I actually studied the African diaspora in college. I thought it was interesting. Staff writer and editor for the New York Quarterly. Okay, that's fine. And emissions go at the bottom. Oh, this is this resume. I see. Okay. Yeah, fine. Great. So this is a good resume. And I like what they do. Okay, this is another resume. Fluent Spanish. Okay, so the education emissions, remember that goes in the bottom. Unless you're applying to jobs in people in New Jersey always get the New York part too. That's fine. It'll cut activity, pace, intellectual property, sports, entertainment. No. So these sorts of things you can put on there. Just saying you're part of if you say you're part of the intellectual property forum, that's fine. But then you should be applying for intellectual property jobs. If you want to do sports and entertainment, then you should be applying for there. And then so anything that puts people off of the scent of what you want to do. Not everyone likes animals. That's fine. I don't know if it's a Muslim law student, 1L representative, or that's the secretary of the Muslim Law Students Association. That's perfectly fine too. So let's just cover one other thing. We always cover this on every meeting, but anything to do, there's an article on BCG called, things to remove from your resume or something. I recommend, and this is just me, but this is what I recommend removing anything to do, for the most part, with religion, with politics, socialists, I don't know if handicap's a good one, but anything that allows people, and I hate to say it, but that's just really something to think about. There's a lot of anger in society against people that are white from privileged backgrounds. There's a lot of anger in society against different types of people. Anytime you advertise some sort of affiliation and stuff, it can hurt you or it can help you, but why take a chance? One of the things that I've always noticed is if I have two equal resumes of two similar people, and one person talks a lot about their religion, and you can see a lot of these resumes do it, the religion and other stuff, or they talk about this person talking about substance abuse, and that people will reach conclusions about it. Now, I personally have had great experiences with lots of different types of people, and I have people working for me of all different religions, but there are places where people don't like this sort of stuff. So there's no reason to advertise it, I don't think, on your resume unless you know what you're getting into, because what you're getting into may be, and it's not the rules that I'm making up, it's just how society works. I wouldn't imagine me advertising, and I don't belong to one, but if there was some sort of exclusionary country club or something I belong to and putting it on my resume and then writing that I'm from a long line of Americans that, came over in the Mayflower, who wants to know that? And that's going to make people instantly dislike me. You just need to be careful sometimes about listing that stuff. And I'm not saying to take it off if you don't want to, but I am telling you that it's going to help you in some quarters and it's going to hurt you in others. And I would prefer not to have the risk, especially with a good resume. So let's see. So refi, home, a settlement specialist, bank attorney. Okay. So I would be more likely to want to call myself a banking attorney. And this is, okay, so this person looks more like a real estate attorney. And then this is an externship. So I would, again, for this particular job, just put a little bit of information. And then this is more of a summer internship. So I wouldn't, when you start using words that detract from things that are related to things that are not what you're doing, but you just need to be very careful. So I like that this person's doing all of this very helpful stuff for other advocating for low income people and so forth. But when you start putting all of this stuff on there, it's detracting from the overall message, which is really that this person does a lot of real estate work. And so all of this, everything that's going on here is really related to, and this, the Mazda Honda youth group. So this person is doing a lot of volunteer. So if I was a law firm when I was looking at this resume, what I would think is that this person, if you can see the animal legal defense, these things here where they were domestic violence, then minority owned businesses, helping low income clients. So my thought would be that this person wants to help this disadvantaged person. This is a very good person, someone personally that I probably would like a lot as a person. But I don't know that I would want to have them working inside of my law firm where they're representing all sorts of people that workers' compensation. This is kindred workers. This is helping hand, Oswego youth group. Like all these things are related to helping other people. And there's nothing wrong with that. But from a law firm standpoint, this person has interests that are not going to be necessarily in line with what a law firm does. And I would just maybe say attorney here. That would be how I would handle that. Because you're a settlement specialist, then you're carving yourself into that. So you need to define yourself. And then right here, this person suddenly looks like they could be a real estate attorney or have some experience doing something like that. And that would be good. And then without talking a lot about your experience in this legal internship, maybe you can talk about anything, if you've done anything to do with real estate there, just make it look more transactional. And then all of a sudden, if you take a lot of this stuff out and you edit it, then it's going to make you look more like a real estate attorney. That's how I would handle it. What I would do, I like all these leadership roles that you've had, but again, just be very careful about anything that points people in a different direction than what your experience is. Okay. I've actually been to Ganyanur, India. That's how you pronounce it. And it's a nice town. It's outside of Iran, and it's actually one of the nicer. There's a lot of greenery and stuff there compared to other places. But unfortunately, this is another foreign resume that I can't do much with. But I love that this person's from there, and I would take my advice about what I've talked about with other foreign resumes. But I can't really do much for this resume. Okay, let's see here: Midland, Florida Bar, United States District Court, Florida Bar exam. Let's see here. Okay, LLM. Okay, then they went to school in the UK and Saudi Arabia and Cairo.